59.8 for the undefeated challenger, the Claressa Shield. And now we have the ladies. 158.8 for the defending world champion, Kaye.
How does Claressa Shields win? By being the more accomplished fighter, by being faster, by having probably the more superior ring IQ, being the kind of one of the greatest women's boxers ever. I think she just wins by flat out being the better fighter. Once again, it's about how her camp goes. As long as she doesn't cut the corners, as long as she stays serious, because keep in mind,
I'm not going to predict the round, but I just know it's going to be a moment in the ring and she's going to say, I'm not supposed to be.
Just yesterday, the entire combat sports world seemed convinced that tonight's matchup was already decided. But one trip to the scales completely changed that narrative. After the official weigh-in at State Farm Arena, something unexpected happened behind the scenes. The same boxing insiders and analysts who had predicted an easy knockout suddenly went quiet, with many privately reconsidering their picks. Experienced fighters began noticing serious warning signs. They watched a champion attempt an extremely demanding weight cut, dropping roughly 15 pounds from her previous heavyweight frame to reach the middleweight limit in only a few weeks. Suddenly, the confidence surrounding a dominant victory has disappeared. Now, fans and experts are asking whether one of the greatest fighters of her generation may have made the biggest gamble of her career and whether that decision could open the door for a historic upset.
Face off for the final time again this hour. Main event tomorrow, live, worldwide, on the zone. It's scheduled 10 rounds. It will be for both the WBA and WBC Women's Middleweight Championships of the World.
When Claressa stepped onto the official DAZN scale, the entire arena seemed to hold its breath. Everyone expected the multi-division champion to look seriously drained after moving from 175 pounds down to 159.8 pounds. That kind of weight cut can place enormous stress on the body. Yet the first visual impression was surprisingly different. Instead of appearing weak or depleted, the champion looked sharp, muscular, and remarkably composed. Boxing legend Floyd Mayweather Jr. was also standing on the stage, watching the dramatic moment unfold. From the outside, Claressa appeared to have maintained her physical strength despite the huge cut. But experienced fighters understand that appearance can be deceptive. A shredded physique might look perfect under the cameras while hiding serious fatigue beneath the surface. Looking powerful during a weigh-in does not necessarily mean the body has enough energy to handle a fast-paced war once the punches start flying under the arena lights.
Hi, Claressa. The boat shows come to Atlanta. You wanted this fight here in the South. How are you
I feel in shape, I feel fast. I feel like this is a dream come true for me. Thank all y'all for being here. We got Floyd, Money, Mayweather in the house, make some noise. You know, there's not many people who I can compare my accolades to, but when you got Floyd Mayweather coming to your weigh-in and coming to your fight, you always feel super special. He's an idol of mine. And I'm going to put on a great performance for y'all tomorrow because Kaye Scott, he's underestimated me. He think I took her life. He think I didn't look at her workout. I didn't stalk her Instagram. I stalked her. She was my girlfriend for the camp. I wouldn't even able to have no sex with my man. But she was my girlfriend. So me and you in love, and I'm going to make some good love come fight my baby. I want to knock it out.
You're the queen of the heavyweight division, undisputed at heavyweight. It's been 3 years, though, that you've been at 160 pounds. How are you feeling at this weight?
I made weight easy. All these girls talk all that shit, I was at heavyweight. I was at heavyweight because these bums who was at 54 and 47 and 60, 68 did not want to fight me after I destroyed and ran through.
And it wasn't only skeptical fans who began questioning the situation. Veteran fighters and boxing professionals also appeared to reassess things once the athletes left the stage. Anyone with serious experience in the sport understands what an aggressive weight cut can potentially do to endurance, recovery, and overall performance. Once the stare-down ended, the quiet speculation quickly turned into serious concern. Fighters who had previously expected an early stoppage were suddenly offering a much more cautious prediction.
You know, Claressa's the top dog, the greatest woman of all time, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 3-time undisputed, 17-time world champ. I'm going with the big whoa, Claressa Shields, man. Who you got?
Honestly, I think she gonna knock her ass out, man.
Yeah, mandatory. In Atlanta too, at State Farm Arena is the biggest arena. You got all the celebrities coming out to see you. Man, she gonna want to put on.
After I remember when Chris Tucker was standing over Bull and he was like, "You gotta knock the fuck out." Yeah, Claressa doing that shit to her ass.
Straight up.
Cause I mean, I've seen like, Kaye Scott. She's in shape. She looked good. Like looking at her aesthetic too. Like, like I can tell she been working out hard, but I don't know. I feel like Claressa got that power. You know what I'm saying? Like
I mean, fitness is different from boxing. You could look like you in shape for fitness, but can't box.
Yeah, that's
the difference. A lot of people, there's a lot of niggas who got muscles but can't fight, bro. Everybody know this in boxing. So fitness, she do look good. Kaye Scott is in shape, and we hope we get the best Kaye Scott because we want a good fight.
Yeah.
We don't want Claressa just a dog walker and it's an easy fight. We still want her to put up a fight for as long as it's gonna last, man. Prize Picks, DraftKings, make sure make sure y'all go ahead and download them apps and get you some money because Claressa, she gonna get a knockout. I would say like a 9th round stoppage. 9th round knockout. I'm calling it right now.
9th round?
9th round prediction.
See, I know the Kaye Scott when she get in the deep waters, like is she gonna have enough power to really like, you know what I'm saying? Like I noticed for like Claressa, she probably still had that deep in the fight.
Yeah, Claressa's stamina be on 10. Now Claressa is dropping weight. She came from a heavyweight and dropped down all the way to 160. So that's the advantage of Kaye Scott. Kaye Scott already walk around at 160. Yeah. So she already fight shape ready. Claressa had to drain herself down. But you know, I think Claressa, she got the best nutritionist in the game. She has the best trainers in the game. She gonna be right when it come fight night, man. So, you know, that's the variables. But like we said, we got the big quote, Claressa Shields, August 15th, man, knockout stoppage. That's my final prediction.
Even the betting market appeared to shift dramatically. Major sportsbooks began moving away from the idea of an easy knockout and instead placed more emphasis on a potential decision victory. The reasoning was straightforward. The short 2-minute rounds combined with such a demanding weight cut could affect Claressa's ability to maintain her usual finishing pressure. Instead of expecting a spectacular stoppage, some analysts now believe she may have to rely on speed, accuracy, and consistent point scoring to get through the fight.
What's up, my friends? This is Dante coming to you live with a new 1 minute or less for the up-and-coming bout this Saturday, August 15th on the DAZN Network with Claressa Shields versus Kaye Scott. All right, so let's talk about this really quickly. So Kaye Scott is going to be defending her WBA and WBC women's middleweight titles against Claressa Shields, which you all know who's been following this channel for a while, that I believe that Claressa Shields is the best female fighter of all time. And I think that she's going to do extremely high-level stuff against Kaye Scott. Let me explain why. Kaye comes forward, she kind of does this kind of slightly razzle-dazzle kind of head rock when she's coming forward, but she doesn't really move her head when she's punching. While she's coming forward, that's going to be a prime opportunity for a great counterpuncher like Claressa Shields to be able to execute a lot of great combinations and counterpunch her until potentially she stops her. And I think that she will, because Kaye's tough. But I think if Claressa can bring her power down from the heavier weight classes that she's been dropping down from, she's going to do amazing work against Kaye Scott and take her WBA and WBC titles away from her. That's going to add to her further legacy until she decides she wants to just probably wipe a bunch more of these divisions out. And do whatever she wants. But I think Claressa is going to, if not stop Kaye, which I think she is, she's definitely going to, I believe, win unanimously.
While the favorite faces growing questions, Kaye Scott appears ready to embrace the challenge. At 42 years old, she was written off by much of the public almost immediately. But boxing insiders are pointing to one major factor that could make this matchup far more dangerous than expected. Scott is a natural middleweight and came in smoothly at 158.8 pounds. Even more importantly, she has never been stopped during her professional career. Throughout the final media events, the Australian champion insisted that her limited number of professional fights has caused people to underestimate her determination. She believes her opponent is entering a physical environment she hasn't experienced in years. And Scott seems completely prepared to transform this highly anticipated main event into a rough, exhausting battle.
I think she's been underestimating me a little bit, but we'll see. I'm ready for everything that she comes at me with.
Why do you think she's been underestimating you?
I think it's easy too. I feel like the whole world has underestimated me, mostly because they just see that pro record of only being 7 fights there. But we'll just see on Saturday night. I think it's going to be a really exciting fight for everyone to watch.
I'm not underestimating you at all. That's what I think. Now you're underestimating me thinking that.
Okay.
I have been in the gym training 3-4 times a day. I've been dieting. Usually I do a 6-week camp. I did 12 for you. 12. Not because of the weight. I've been made weight last week. That was simple. Me making the weight. No, I trained for you. I watched you. I know we're good in the amateurs. I know you are more experienced. The girls in the amateurs, majority of them may box better than the girls in the pro. So I don't take your record of being 5-1-1 as a joke. I sparred so many rounds and we watched so much film. I didn't underestimate you, but I want you to understand that when God gives me an opportunity to perform on a big stage in Atlanta, it's not really nothing against you. I just have to perform at a very high level to destroy you. And I know that you worked hard, you strong, you're big. I'm talking about, I know. So I look forward to us fighting on Saturday, but I didn't underestimate you. I didn't. I still trained. I watched the film. I dieted more than usual. And listen, I'm prepared.
Behind the scenes, the controversy continues to grow. Online boxing personalities are also questioning the champion's mindset heading into the fight. Prominent channels such as Boxing Ego and Hood Champion Boxing have criticized the entire fight week, describing it as a major distraction. Their argument is that the undisputed champion may be allowing too much outside noise to interfere with her preparation.
I don't think she realizes this, but we as a public really don't even like your next fight. And that's the other thing that I gotta address here. Claressa Shields, in her Flintwater mind, she keeps posting these things like, oh man, the haters and the trolls, and they're against me. They want to see me lose, but I'm going to win this and prove everybody wrong. You're not proving anybody wrong, because nobody thinks you're going to lose to Kaye Scott. They may want you. You got to understand, some people don't like your attitude, so they're actively rooting against you. But I haven't really seen many people, if any, that are actually picking Kaye Scott like they would bet money that Kaye Scott's going to whoop you. Neither one of you guys really have any power. You know, in a handful of fights, you got 3 knockouts, she got 0. So you don't really have power. She don't really have power for show. You know, when you look at her amateur record, she got like 3 knockouts in amateurs and pro combined in like 70, 80 fights. That's trash, right? So nobody's really picking her to win. Not rooting for or hoping she pulls the upset, but picking her like with an intelligent breakdown. Like, I think Kaye Scott gets it done because she's going to execute the 1-2 and the jab. Like, no one's really technically breaking it down, right? So Claressa's always playing the victim. Like, oh, these people against me and I'm going to prove them wrong again. No one, you picked a massive underdog who has 7 fights. Only 5 of those are wins with 0 knockouts. 1 loss, 1 draw. Like, nobody's really picking her, right? So you're not proving anybody wrong.
Between promoting merchandise, responding to critics online, and getting involved in unnecessary media confrontations, her attention appears to be divided. Critics are now asking whether she has underestimated the dangerous opponent standing directly across the ring. When a fighter is already putting the body through an extreme weight cut, losing mental focus can become another major problem once the fight begins. One lapse in concentration could completely change the outcome.
I've had a fantastic training camp, and all I can do is control the controllables. My sparring's been on point, my conditioning's been on point, my diet's been on point, and my mindset's on point. So this opportunity has arisen, and I'm just taking it with full force. And she wouldn't want to be against an opponent who doesn't believe that she can do it, and I think I can create history and go out there and bring everything and make it a really challenging fight and bring those belts back home to Australia.
You do not have the pro experience that Claressa has, but you are a longtime amateur, 15 years in the Australian boxing program. How can you use that to your advantage?
I think that's helped because although this will be the biggest stage that I've fought on, I think going in the amateurs, you go to the World Championships and the Commonwealth Games and stuff like that, you go through all the nerves and the traveling, and so I'm very much used to being up there and having to talk to media and do that kind of stuff. So I feel like I'm probably in a better position than some of her other opponents have been to. It's not new to me. Also that I've been around a lot of international high-level successful athletes that have transitioned through to the pros. So they're names that I recognize and appreciate how amazing that they've had in their pro career, but I've also seen them as kind of just humans and athletes that I've trained alongside as well. So it kind of normalizes things rather than putting them up on a pedestal so much. And that helps me mentally anyway.
That brings us to one of the most concerning theories spreading throughout hardcore boxing discussions and online forums, the Deepwater effect. The strategy for Kaye Scott would be simple, but extremely demanding. Survive the early attacks, stay composed, and drag the fight beyond the 6th round. That is where the real questions begin. Boxing insiders understand that an aggressive 15-pound weight reduction can potentially become more noticeable as the fight progresses. If the champion's energy suddenly disappears, her legs could become heavy and her punches could lose their snap. By the championship rounds, exhaustion could create the opening Scott needs. And if that moment arrives, the naturally bigger Australian could have a chance to pull off one of the biggest victories of the decade.
And I don't think Claressa wouldn't want someone that's not going into a fight not thinking they can win. Like, why would you want to go in there with someone that's not kind of on themselves and thinking like I have the belts, they're mine. So I'm going in there as champ. So that's the go.
Yeah. Do you think you're underrated? I mean, a lot of people try to, critique your experience just because of the pro record, but I mean, you had a ton of fights in the amateurs as well.
It's like, I know myself, like the smaller community or people that know my background kind of know the truth behind it, and to be honest, I kind of turn off the comments on everything else.
Right.
Like I see a few things and I'm just like, that doesn't deserve my energy. So, like, I haven't actually seen a lot of it. Some people send it to me and I'm like, alright. Like, people are entitled to their opinion. I don't really care. I don't have to change that. My focus is just 100% on Saturday night and putting all the energy where it deserves to be. So, and that's on me. There's no point me getting online and trying to speak to John, who's like, this is a joke. She's had 7 fights. I don't care what John thinks. Like, I care that I'm here and I'm gonna give it everything. So
yeah. You mentioned age as well. That's another thing that people like to criticize. You bring up your age. I mean, you certainly don't look your age. So
I'm in the gym training with all like our pro and amateur team, and they are all like mostly in their 20s. So, and I stay alongside them and do the exact training as what they do. So, and it's always been that way. I got into boxing very late because my state had it illegal. I couldn't fight any earlier than what I did, and I was late transitioning into the pros. But body hasn't been an issue for me, and it hasn't been so far. So while I'm still kicking ass, I'm going to keep kicking ass.
All of those doubts finally exploded during the final face-off. DAZN captured the intense tension between the two fighters as the polite media answers disappeared and were replaced by sharp trash talk and visible hostility. Claressa pushed back hard against the criticism, making it clear that nobody should underestimate her speed, conditioning, or punching power. The tension was impossible to ignore. Now the fan base is split down the middle. Her supporters believe she handled the weight cut without major problems and will make the fight look easy. Meanwhile, respected boxing voices remain convinced that she may be walking into a physical challenge that cannot be undone once the bell rings.
I think that Scott has the makings of someone who can keep Shields off of her, right? So if it's the movement, if it's the clinching, whatever she needs to do, I think that some people get in there, man, they draw a blank and they forget how to keep themselves safe in the ring. They forget how to fight back, and kind of goes on from there. This Scott's girl, I think that she can do some of those things.
What if Kate Scott has a better chance than Kaye Scott? That's Malik Scott's wife.
I know. I was like, yeah, that's crazy. I was like, yeah, that's crazy. I caught it after a second.
I'm trying to put two and two together.
That's crazy.
Malik is training her these days.
Oh, she ain't that big.
No, I know.
Yeah, no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Not true. Try to put Kate up here. Sounds okay. Keep doing your thing. We'll stalk her and analyze the box.
Okay, so
yeah. Now this girl, she 1 loss, 1 draw, 5 wins. 42, but 42 with only 7 professional fights. I'm lost.
She's seasoned. She's healthy, ready.
In
I
Australia,
ain't putting that body. I ain't putting running Riley. You in your prime to me, baby. But I'm just saying that I just worry about the experience getting up in there with a Claressa Shields. So I don't know how to. You know anything about her amateur record? Oh, amateur record. She's almost at 70-some fights. So maybe.
Yeah.
But you need to be really experienced getting up there with Claressa Shields. That's my thing.
The interviews are finished, the rumors have reached their peak, and the weigh-in drama is finally over. Tonight, beneath the lights of State Farm Arena, we find out which side was right. Did one of the greatest female fighters in boxing make a dangerous career decision by dropping back down to middleweight? Or will she enter the ring and silence every doubter, critic, and analyst who question the move? Boxing is an unforgiving sport, and the answer will become clear as soon as that opening bell rings. Do you believe the massive weight cut could ultimately become her weakness, or will she overpower the natural middleweight in front of her? Share your boldest late-round predictions in the comments and tell us how you think this historic matchup ends. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. And as always, share your thoughts below. We'll see you in the next video.